All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach me well. Shalom to the elect, the 144,000, pushing this truth in all sincerity in the four quarters of the earth. Lord willing, we be of that number as well. I'm your brother Tabaya Yakona coming at you with another video, Lord willing, it's edifying, okay? Just want to start out that this is not any kind of medical information and fair use. All right. Start out with Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. And that's Esau, Edom. All right, Esau, the so-called white man. And why is that? Well, I just was listening to the radio this morning and came across, this little dialogue on the BBC. They were talking about I found the article online, and it's entitled "The Long-Term Effects of the Nuclear Waste in St. Louis." All right, under the picture it says Coldwater Creek flows April 7th, 2023 in Florissant, Missouri. The Army Corps of Engineers has determined that soil is contaminated beneath some suburban St. Louis homes near Coldwater Creek, where nuclear waste was dumped decades ago, but the contamination isn't enough to pose a health risk, right? And, of course, they go into it. They have a guest who speaks on growing up around the river, and they have a guest, was this Linda Morris, author of Nuked, The Echoes of the Hiroshima Bomb in St. Louis, right? So the waste, so when we go back to, Isaiah 54, and it speaks of that waster to destroy. That's talking about, again, that's talking about Esau, Edom, but it's talking about his ability to make that sword that he was blessed with, enhance that sword ability. Then that sword ability is that power to destroy, man, power to kill. Okay, so in the beginning it was more that he just had the he's a very violent man. It was like a physical sword that he was dealing with and wielding, like it, in the ancient Roman Empire. The Macedonians, but now that sword has, like I said, it has enhanced itself, by way of Esau and his science and technology, his miracles. Through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because nobody increases themselves. The Lord puts the Spirit on you to receive, these abilities, technology, and advancements in smarts, quote unquote, so to speak. The Lord gives you all of that, right? So that was part of Esau's blessing. Okay, matter of fact, let's go into that real quick. Esau's blessing. When you go to the book of Genesis, 27th chapter, and the 30 8th verse. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. So this is when when Jacob had supplanted Esau out of his birthright. All right. And so Isaac gave Jacob the blessing. And so now Esau is asking for another blessing from his father. All right. It says, and Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. All right. So, hey, this devil, right now, he's living in that fatness of the earth and dew of heaven. All right, a blessing. He controls the earth. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, and he's called the wicked in the Holy Scriptures. Verse 40, Genesis 27:40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And that's the point. The sword is Esau's power. And that sword comes in a variety of manners. It comes in a physical sword, through his weaponry and his power to destroy. And it also comes by way of the pen, through his deception and his lies and things of that sort. So it says, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? So, now Esau, at one point he was in the, what we call the dark ages. All right. He was in a lower state. The Lord had him locked up in Europe. I believe it was at the bottomless pit. I believe you can go to the 20th chapter, Revelation 20th chapter for that. All right. But then around AD, the Lord loosed that off of his neck, loosed that lower state off of his neck. He was in such a low state that he was considered a caveman. He was eating juniper berries and mallow root. Living basically like an animal. Okay, in the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, like a caveman. But the Lord released him from that lower state, and when he came out, he had to rebuild his image. That was in the Renaissance age. Okay, all right, and that's where he came out, and basically, the fatness of the earth was given to him. He had dominion of the earth. As it's written, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. All right. So, he came up in that Renaissance age, started to paint over the images of the true saints, of the true people of the Lord, and of the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. Now they call him. They put their Greek Roman gods, mythological gods, in place of the real saints, and now all of this religion, this quote unquote Christianity, which real Christians were Israelites. All of that is just thinly veiled paganism. But anyways, getting back to this article, Okay. You know, so they talk about, you got this lady, Magna Chakrabarty. She's interviewing, and let me see if I can grab a little bit of that transcript. All right. Let's just jump down to, okay, this is after a couple of years. Her family relocated to California. The sisters grew up, moved out, got jobs, started families, and then Debbie and her sisters started getting sick. My middle sister, as Mason speaking, my middle sister Denise got breast cancer in 2010. She was stage 3. She was 45. Then my youngest sister got breast cancer in 2017. She was 48. She didn't have any cancer in her lymph nodes. I was the last to get it. I got it in 2020. I was stage 2, and I had 2 lymph nodes removed. So I did 36 rounds of radiation, and I opted for a double mastectomy, which means getting both of your breasts cut off, surgically removed, because of my sisters having cancer. All right. And it just goes on to speak about other people in that area that got sick. If we jump down a little bit more, it says decades before Debbie and most of the other families who grew up along the waterway, Coldwater Creek had a different purpose. It served as a toxic waste dump, and the waste had come from one of the greatest scientific and wartime efforts in the United States history. They got a tape of President Harry Truman. He was saying it is an atomic bomb. It is a harnessing of the basic power of the universe. The force from which the sun draws his power has been loosed against those who brought war to the Far East. All right. So that was, Chakrabarty is talking about how this is President Truman announcing the bombing of Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, the Manhattan Project. Speaks on Manhattan Project and, Robert Oppenheimer, which we always attach to, that Isaiah 54, the smith that blows the coals in the fire. So we'll go ahead and end this off real quick, because the Lord does all things. All right, He even makes these wicked scientists for Himself. Proverbs 16:4. The Lord hath made all things for Himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Yeah, Esau, Edom is the wicked, and the day of evil. Matter of fact, I wanted to get that in the AMP version. It says, the Lord Yahweh has made everything for its own purpose, even the wicked according to their role for the day of evil. And the day of evil is that, Jacob's trouble, and also the day of evil. More specific, the day of evil is that day of destruction when Babylon the Great gets wasted with ICBM missiles, as well as other portions of the earth, specifically, that land over there, land of Palestine, is going to be cleansed with fire and be rebuilt for the kingdom. All right. Let's see. We'll end it off here, Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. That's Esau, the so-called white man. Giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect. Shalom.